Going to run away with it, but as you can see there, Central's got themselves right back into the game with 4 goals that quarter. The Eagles still outscored them, kicked 5, but you just saw a little bit of momentum shift halfway through that quarter, and Central's started to get their game back in order.
Yeah, so the 9-minute mark, it was 34 points, and at half-time now, as you can see, it's 22. With McKenzie, Graham and Ware, the goal kickers there with multiples for Centrals, and then Passador with 4 was excellent in that quarter and has been for the whole game. Grokey and Shattuck with a couple as well. And through the stats, as you identified at one point, 30 plays 20 with the inside 50s. The Eagles dominating centre breaks 10-1.
Well, that's huge, isn't it? And we saw on the hit-outs there previously that Centrals were still getting their hand to the footy, but obviously the on-ballers are playing inside in terms of the Eagles, and 10-1 is amazing. No doubt about that.
No doubt at all. Well, as we know, these two clubs met in the 2005 Grand Final. Eagles coming in after being hammered in 2004 by 125 points. They were looking to avenge that loss and get a bit of pride back against Centrals. And Centrals were aiming for 3 premierships in a row. How did it all unfold? Here's how.
McKay breaks from the pack, goes long. Inkster with a barrel. Big crowd in for this match. The grand final. Schooler knocked it away. Good tackle. Umpire Fielder comes in and says, give it to me.
Shell takes his time now round on the left foot. Just a high kick inside. Almost the mark for Gowans. It's come to Arnott in the goal square, and alone was Chris Gowans' opening goal.
Well, that's certainly not the start that the Eagles would have wanted. You see Shell here on the left foot. It wasn't a great kick. Certainly set the Centrals player up there, but they had enough numbers inside the corridor. They just booted the ball forward, and one of the Gowans is smart enough just to slip forward, kick a goal. That's exactly what Centrals wanted, exactly not what the Eagles wanted.
This doggy's back line is relentless. Thrown off the boot was Lomas, who's just come back on. Powell's in there. Martin, quick hands around the corner. Sikalala is at there first. He's a dangerous player, Justin Sikalala, and he threw it on the boot and got one.
Certainly did, and that was a result of just some persistence and some great work inside.
O'Hara, who's a terrific tap ruckman. Sikalala, that is class, to Colville. Surely can't kick it from there. It'll fall short. They fly. Take it, Lomas! He learns the lesson, Brodie Lomas. Get rid of it quick.
Certainly in grand finals, you don't want to be hanging on to the ball too much, particularly early in the game, and he was in the perfect spot there. The ball came in high. Once again, from a stoppage, boundary throw-in, Sikalala, deft little tap to Colville. Colville puts the ball to the hot spot, and you can see there Pedler, who pushed from the half-back line, just gets his boot on the ball, does enough to keep the ball going forward, not over the back.
Eagles just let themselves down there. McKay breaks from the pack, goes long, a goal. Oh, they're so good around the stoppages. The Dogs, it doesn't matter who's doing the ruck with, but they just read it so well.
Well, I think that we've seen early that that's where the game's going to be won or lost, around the stoppages. We've seen 3 goals that I can remember early in the game that have come as a result of a stoppage. That time it's the Doggies.
Schooler knocked it down. McKenzie, who's so important in the clearances for the Eagles. Cochrane, did he infringe on Inkster? He did. He's not happy about it, but Inkster just outside 50, Rob.
Yeah, no doubt about that. That's a great call.
Had a couple on their own momentarily. Inkster with a barrel, a long barrel.
That is just fantastic to watch, isn't it?
They're in front, the Eagles. Amazing kick by Inkster. I'll tell you what, I'd button my lip because I thought he might be just on the edge of his distance. You just never know when the umpire's going to blow his whistle. Schooler just gave Lindsay a nudge. Big, massive players. Symes in there. Rolling scrum. Chris Gowans. Umpire's just letting it go. Eventually they break. Hay. Handball was blocked. He goes in again. Graham. Loose handball. Maybe a chance for the Eagles. Watts. Throw it on the boot. I think it's a goal. Through the scrimmage. A couple of loose possessions by the Central Districts. Watts has got a couple.
And it's as a result of the forward line pressure. You can see that the Eagles are prepared to scramble the ball, tackle, harass. You can see there's 3-on-1 chasing the footy. And it was a bad error in terms of the handball from the Central's play, and the Eagles are ready to pounce. But it's all as a result of the pressure, and the crowd is right into this game.
Powell, who doesn't look 100% fit to me, kicks long, over the back. Here's Lomas. Which way's Watts going? Watts, he doesn't know where to lead. Lomas loads it up and kicks a beauty. Oh, Fergus Watts made 6 leads. Lomas kept running and drilled it.
Clever play by a young player there. He read the ball very well off the back of the pack. You could see the ball was going over the top. O'Hara made position. Lomas's man flew. Lomas stayed down. A couple of bounces and drilled it.
Schooler and O'Hara. Schooler out of the pack. High. Steinberner looks for the mark. Couldn't pull it down. McKenzie. Bello. One for the left foot. Goes to the right. Now the left. Centres it up. Chance for Graham. Can't get back there in time. Symes will be taken. Gets the kick away. A goal to Chris Gowans. What an effort from Symes. Have another look. Wait on it. And there'll be a conversation. I got the feeling he got the foot there in time. And that'll be the signal. All clear. Badly needed by the Dogs.
It certainly was, and they just created something out of nothing. You had Bello on one side of the ground, snapped the ball into the corridor. Graham was there, just couldn't get his fingertips on it. As you can see there, Symes, he too centred the footy, and Gowans right on the end of it, just where you want to be if you're a forward. For me, I think that Lindsay and O'Hara, even though Schooler's got a couple of tap-outs, have been instrumental in doing a bit of work around the ground.
Slade to Bello, goal! And that came from the stoppage, and they finally had some momentum build up from the stoppage, and Bello was on the end of it.
No sooner you speak about matchups and players doing well, Schooler makes us all look silly there. That was a beautiful hit out. Slade ran onto the footy and Bello backed him up, and once again we can see some forward line stoppage work. The side that gets the momentum kicks a goal.
Passador, he ignores. He needs to get the kick away. He does. Watts and Inkster. Who's going to fly? No one. Hearn got the hand on it. Inkster got it back to Watts. Knight threw it on the boot. Where's Treby? Can't take the mark. The crumbs. Sikalala around the body. Eagles get another one. He had to step up. Sikalala. He hadn't had much of it. But that is the best way to answer it.
Vince, nicely done, inside 50, and Passador takes the mark. Well done, Bernie Vince, just got in the end of it. Big afternoon for him, and just his 4th game of league football behind play. Just a player struggling to get back to his feet is Colville. Here's Passador, 2nd shot on goal for the quarter from 50. Oh, straight as you like. Lindsay goes for boundary rather than the rushed behind. Bello picked it up, surrounded immediately. Diving in there, Pedlar, slipped it out to Stokes. Falls now for Cowan, pushed up his kick, got a goal though. Oh, they just capitalise at the right moments.
No doubt about that. And a few of the Eagles players just starting to look tight in the legs. This one here, pushed off the footy. And I reckon McKenzie almost pushed him into the kick, which certainly helped the way the ball slid off the side of his boot there and it went through the middle.
Finally, he goes to him. Hearn should take it. He does. 70 from goal. Started the lead from near the goal square. Now he drives it in long. 3-on-2. The Eagles have numbers. Comes to the front. Well done by McCabe, and got one high. Umpire said play on. Cowan, match winner is he? Yes! Being good up forward when it counts.
That's 2 in the last 5 minutes. Certainly showed all his class there, a bit of agility one way, balked, then the other way on the left foot.
You watch him wait and assess, and something will bob up. He goes to Hearn. Now Hearn has a run at it from 50. Long bomb by Hearn. Here's a beauty! Oh dear, they're up by 13 points. Is that an ominous sign for what may be to come in the last term?
I think it is, Michael. Danger signs at the moment for the Eagles. They look to be running on top of the ground, Centrals. They got fresh legs. They didn't play last week. They've had an opportunity to rest, get their training right, and you can see there, that's fresh legs. He's a thumping kick, Hearn, at the best of times.
In goes Hearn. Bello got it to James Gowans. You get the feeling if the Dogs get the first one, it could be shut the gate. Cowan, he's kicked a couple, lays it off. Healy will kick one for the Doggies. Oh dear. They know how to win grand finals. They know it's important to get the first goal of the final term. Oh, can the Eagles come back? Roy Laird says, ooh, steady it down.
Well, the match breaker has been this guy here, Luke Cowan's kicked 2 in the third, and he's just fed that off to his skipper there, who won't let him down from about 10 metres out in the slide angle.
Very deliberate. What a brilliant shot of this we have. He has drilled it. They're home in 2005. What a kick by Gowans. They know how to do it in big games.
Well, they do, and they've just taken the most of their opportunities and chances in front of goal.
Dogs have it back again. Cochrane, Hay, the captain Healy. Healy's away. And now he's inside to Chris Gowans. And now Daniel Schell says, yeah, I'm ready now. Give it to me. And on the chest, easiest of marks. He'll go back and have another crack. Last season, he kicked 3 goals in the 4th quarter of the grand final. In fact, the last 3 goals of the match. And he's kicked that one as well. Floriani, Knights on his left foot, pulled the kick beautifully. Inkster was in a bit of space. He looked like he was going to belt it long. And Richie Cochrane just backed up a bit, and that allowed Inkster to lead up and take the mark.
Well, he's kicked one with a taunt, and he's kicked one into the man on the mark.
So here's Tim Inkster, kicks from 50, and he kicks truly. Good finish from Inkster. And not a bad finish by the Eagles, but in grand finals, there's no second prize.
They've got an unbelievable list, Central Districts, and it's a full credit to their club that they've maintained that list.
There it is. It's all over. The Dogs are premiers for the 3rd time in a row. They're just the 4th club in SANFL history to achieve that honour. A hat-trick of premierships. 5 in 6 years. What a club!
Medal for best of field, number 8, Luke McCabe. Number 2, Tyson Hay. Number 6, Brad Syme. Number 7, Marco Bello. Number 8's got a couple of medals, Luke McCabe. Number 9, Richard Cochrane. Having it in the family. Number 10, Stuart Cochrane. Number 14, Shannon Hearn. Number 18, Jason Buckets McKenzie. Number 21, Chris Gowans. Number 26, Luke Cowan. Number 27, Daniel Schell. Number 28, James Gowan. Number 33, Paul Sculler. Number 34, Nathan Steinboner. Number 37, Eve Sivanela. Number 38, Quinton Graham. Number 42, Simon Arnott. Number 45, for the Swan Song, Pete Hopwood. Number 48, Bradley Curry. Number 59, Matthew Slade. And number 51, Daniel Healy, the skipper. This team is wonderfully coached by Roy Laird.
5 premierships in 6 years. What an awesome club. 7 players have played in all of those 5 premierships. 3 of them have retired, and yet Central's still going strong, aren't they, Robbie?
There's no doubt about that, and I reckon that would have brought back some fond memories for a lot of supporters and players and coaches and staff included in that.
No doubt about that. One of the players who was out there was Stuart Cochrane. He's not there this afternoon, though, and he's with Sodas on the boundary line.
Yes, he is, and certainly some fond memories up there on the screen, Stewie. Now, your first year out of the AFL system after, what, nearly 10 years in there, how are you adjusting to not being in full-time footy?
Oh, I've just enjoyed getting back to the club and being with the boys during the week for the Monday and Wednesday, and you know, also working down at the club now too in development role, so really enjoying my time down there at the club at the moment.
Now, unfortunately, you've been hampered with a hamstring injury for a little while. How's the body travelling? And there does seem to be a few soft tissue injuries down with the Bulldogs.
Yeah, we've got a few at the moment, so it's not helping things, but I mean, we'll probably all come back at the same time. There's probably 6 or 7 of us guys who the next week or two will all come back and sort of help bolster the side a bit, so we're looking forward to that. And at the moment, we're sort of struggling a bit at the moment, but I mean, the boys, yeah, they'll battle through, and I think the second half they'll bounce back a bit.
Well, Stuart, you mentioned about the fact that you're battling. I guess no more indicative of that was the loss to Glenelg. Terrible loss, 95 points. How do you recover from something like that?
Yeah, it was a struggle last week, that's for sure. They really jumped us at the start, and they look like they're a new team this year, Glenelg. But you know, we had a look at ourselves during the week, and there's a few areas that we need to improve on. And obviously today the boys were working on that a bit for a while, and then just dropped off a bit towards the end of that second quarter. So I mean, the boys are going to come out hard, I think, after this break, and we'll see a different team. And I think for the next couple of weeks we've got a few focus areas to work on, and you'll see a different Central side, I think.
Is one of those focus areas at all fitness? I mean, is that hampered the side fitness, or is it just a case of numbers and guys who are going to get back into the side after injury?
No, I don't think it's fitness. I think we pride ourselves on our fitness down at Centrals. You know, we're probably the hardest working side over the summer, and we've done that again. And I don't know, maybe that's been a reason for our injuries. We've been working so hard, but I think you'll find we'll bounce back, and don't write off the doggies just yet.
Oh, Stewie, it's Robert Pyman here. One player certainly missing in the forward line is Daniel Shell. Could you just elaborate a little bit on the extent of his injury?
Yeah, surely are. Shelley, we're missing him, and also Luke Cowan. You know, they provide a good target up forward, and you know, we've had to use Eve Subbanala, who's competing well today, but he's probably more suited down back. So those 2 guys, when we get them back, they'll definitely straighten us up. Yeah, Shelley's got a bit of a back complaint at the moment, but he won't be far off playing. I'd say he'd probably play next week or this Saturday.
Just one more thing, around the club, I mean, that loss to Glenelg, perhaps symbolic that you're struggling a bit, but is there a different feeling this season, given that you've had those 7 premiership players retire? Or at least, sorry, you're missing, I think it is 6 of the premiership players from last year.
Yeah, you know, those players have moved on, but I mean, we're looking forward to the challenge, and we've got some new young guys coming up into the team, and they've done well. You know, young Obst and Officer, and also Dutchke, and these type of guys who've come up, and they've improved the side, and also the new recruits that we've got, and you know, they're doing a terrific job, and we've got some out with injuries at the moment, but when they come back in, they'll bolster the side as well. So we're looking forward to the next few weeks.
Stewie, you mentioned one of the new recruits, and young Wilson playing across the half-back line today has been fantastic.
That's right. Well, Will was he's an ex-Centrals boy, so we were lucky to have him back with Paul Thomas this year from the Bombers. So they've come back in, and Will was doing a terrific job. So yeah, he's really settled in well down back, and providing us a lot of attack from the back line.
Well, sure, thanks for your time, and let's hope that the Centrals boys will get back into real game mode in the second half.
Yeah, that's right. I think you'll see a different side for the start of this third quarter, that's for sure.
Great. Stuart Cochrane there, and just spending some time on the sidelines, as are a few of the dogs at the moment. And that would be very disappointing. Well, we've got a sight for you. We promised this vision of the parachuters coming in over the Adelaide Oval. And this is the journey of Keith Perreault, and jumping on board his flight. And that looks like Parafield he must have come in from. And over the sights of the centre of Adelaide, taking the plunge out of the plane. Good to know that he brought the game ball with him, as you see, just flashing through there. It was pretty important that he had that with him when he jumped out of the plane. I'm not sure if it was anything to do with balance or whatever as he came down onto the Adelaide Oval, but it's a great little bit of entertainment for the crowd. And didn't he hit it bang on?
He didn't miss his target. That's amazing to be jumping from that height and be able to pinpoint accuracy, as they say in footy terms.
And He was pretty pleased with himself too. As we look ahead to what's coming up on ABC TV football, South versus Sturt from Noarlunga next Saturday afternoon from 2:30. That match on Friday night, the traditional rivals Nord and Port Adelaide, they are back in with a chance of finals football, so I think that'll be a great clash. Centrals against Westies out at Elizabeth. Note that time. Yes, Centrals have the lights out at Elizabeth and they'll be making good use of them, I'm sure. And Glenelg against North. Again, traditional rivals from the 80s.
There's no doubt about that. They played in a couple of grand finals when Noonan was coaching North Adelaide, so there's still a fair bit of feeling between most of those sort of recent rivals, I think we'll call them. And yeah, it looks like a fantastic weekend for football next weekend.
It's been a fantastic afternoon for football here at the Adelaide Oval. Anzac Day 2006. We're ready for the second half. Here's Michael Maney.
What will the second half give us, Neil Cross? Let's hope it gives us something special. In the centre, Eagles lead this contest by 22 points. Lindsay knocks it down. No clear takeaway. Officer, what a name for an Anzac Day clash. Officer, taken by Sikalala. Sikalala drills it in looking for Passador. How on earth? And he's called the play on. He didn't hear the whistle initially, I'm sure of that. And he's caught with a footy, no free kick.
I think you're spot on there, Michael. I don't reckon he thought the umpire was going to pay the mark. He went to move and then the umpire has called him play on.
Lindsay straight down to Powell, across the body, a goal.
Well, it didn't make any difference.
It didn't.
They were good enough to get the hit out straight down and kick a goal anyway.
Made a difference to Mark Passador. I'm sure he would have liked to kick the goal.
Well, he's currently sitting on the edge of a bag, isn't he? He's kicked 4. Sure, he'd like a few more. They're just beautiful, beautiful ruck work there. You can see just palmed the footy down. I knew that his teammate in Powell was just sitting there, and that's pretty simple snap at 25 metres out on a slight angle.
I just spoke to Stuart Cochran at half-time from Centrals, and he promised that the Doggies would be a new look in the second half. And
he was very confident about that, wasn't he?
Yeah, unfortunately, though, the Doggies fans, they haven't started in the right manner. Mackenzie will go against Lindsay. Mackenzie with the tap to the ball out of the middle. Powell picked it up, was surrounded, take it down too high, said the umpire. Powell wanted to play on, didn't retire behind the mark, so a bit of policing going on. He runs straight out the other side, goes to Mackenzie. Mackenzie looks for Passador, who's on the lead. Passador comes, punch away, thereby off the Hyde. Passador makes the tackle, off the Hyde, taken high. Umpire now advantage to Ware, who takes off like a Ware rabbit. And Graham wide looking again for Ware. That set him up a bit. Sikalala closed him down so he couldn't take off. Drops it over the top to Sibanela. Sibanela inside 50. Next disposal important. Sets it up. Obbs couldn't take it from the side. Ball to ground. Eagles just hunting the ball at the moment, just a little harder. Colville waited as long as he could, went for the boundary, got a good bounce. And Luke McCabe looks exasperated, but Gavin Colville knew what he was doing. Just down to Sodas on the bench.
Interestingly enough for the Bulldogs, the skipper Nathan Steinburner just sitting there nearest the camera. Also Norsworthy and Scotty Dutchke on the end there, who has back problems as well. So Nathan Steinburner seems okay, just a little bit of a rest.
O'Sullivan. Doggies need the next goal, that's for sure. He kicks it high, hoping for a mark. Schoolers in the middle of that pack. Thumped away. Colville takes it to the line. A rush behind.
They're quick to bring it in, aren't they? I think they knew what they were about then. And look at the overlap they've got on the far side of the ground. Treevey will get it. Treevey on his left leg, inside 50. Thump long. And a mark. Or is it a push? It's a push. And Oakley will give up the ball to Brooks.
Sometimes you get away with them, sometimes you don't. That was a line ball decision there. He used his body quite well, but the umpire was in pretty good position. Probably just the jumper pulling there. He held on to the jumper a little bit too long, Oakley.
Well, use your arms like that, I suppose you're always in danger of it not being called body work. The ball comes over the back. Slade gathering it. No. Finally, he gets control near the boundary line. Caught, dropped it. Umpire said play on, out of bounds.
top ball.
The Eagles, as we said, hunting the ball. And the top ball getters, Moggy, I
Yeah, they
believe.
were new in the first half for the Eagles. Aaron Shattuck and Luke Powell each had 16 and Lee Treby 14. For the Dogs, Luke McCabe had 16, Elijah Ware 13 and Adrian Wilson 12.
Yeah, Mogridge, now statistician. And Slade pumps it long to half forward. Dogs just going long and direct at the moment. McKenzie hacked it out of there. Ware took control, off the left foot, dropped it in. Coming on the lead, Francis, fumble out. Just a little disappointed with his effort there, and Colville told him, gee whiz, youngster, need to hold those, or something to that effect.
Sure he did. He allowed him 10 metres and he allowed him to take the mark, but he didn't. So Gavin Colville, the head of experience, just a bit of body contact. Bit of body contact on Luke McCabe. Not caught with the ball, just on the merry-go-round there. A couple of veterans. Good to see them in the crowd watching the footy. That is terrific. They've had a big day. Been up very early, home to bed, tucked away early tonight, I reckon, the boys.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't you reckon? They reckon they can kick on all right? Another ball up. James Gowan says to the umpire, surely that was a push in the back, a free kick to us. Nothing doing. Luke Powell on the bottom. James Gowan's number 28. His twin brother, Chris. So important to this Doggies lineup. They need to lift. Pretty poor first half by them, by their standards.
Identical stats, as you'd expect. 3 marks, 4 kicks, 4 handballs.
Wouldn't have thought any different, Ian. Good to see you come right in on that one. As statisticians delight that one. 5.5 gone. Early goal in this quarter to Powell of the Eagles. And the umpires ping Paul Lindsay there. Long kick, inside 50 by McCabe. No mark, in goes Colville, hands and knees. This is where the Eagles have been pretty good at breaking it out. Big pack of players, and umpire Pfeiffer will ball it up.
Young Adam Spencer there made very good position just to cut that off, zoned off at the right time, just didn't quite hold the mark. Could have repelled the attack there, just taking the ball there, but now Central's got an opportunity.
Pedler tries to take it to the line, and in the end is successfully doing so. Boundary throw in, 6 gone in the third term, and the Eagles lead this contest by 27 points.
Well, they start every quarter like this. It's interesting, isn't it, that it seems to be stoppage after stoppage after stoppage for the first 5 or 6 minutes before the game starts to open up a bit.
Lindsay just knocking it forward. Jared won't be able to trap it before it's over that wide line. 6th straight Anzac game for Central District. Hadn't lost one until last season when they dropped one in a big way. Eagles beating them by 74. Lindsay again. From Schooler, tapping it forward. Powell gathered it. Potter gave it to Colville, and who said, thank you very much. Ball now on the ground, in dispute. Umpire Pfeiffer comes in.
This will be the 7th straight stoppage, and the ball's travelled from one side of the 50-metre arc of Central District's forward line to the other.
Riveting stuff.
Schooler knocking it forward again. Powell again getting in the way. Potter involved again. Finally, we'll get another stoppage, another ball up. 8 and wait for the free kick.
Well, it just shows you that neither side is prepared to give an inch at the moment.
It's good though from the umpires too. You've got to be game to pay. You've got to be game these days to actually create a stoppage. Umpires, well, people want the ball moving all the time. That time it moved about 20 metres. Joey Pedler intercepted it. Finally, looks like the Eagles will break away. On the lead comes Treby, short of him. Treby trapped it well, wanted his left foot, too much pace. Breaks away from centre half back, goes into the middle of the ground. Thomas read it well, half volleyed it almost, kept it in front of him. Well done by the 2004 McGarry medalist. Off the Ware, he's had 4 kicks this quarter. I think they've all been off his left foot. That one ill-directed. McKenzie for the Eagles intercepts. Wiggly in the middle. Jared is this side. He opts to hold it up. Could go short to Sikalella. Chose to go long. Couldn't get Passador. Now Westhoff goes for James Gowans. There's not much in front of him. Certainly nobody, at least in Central's colours. Finally, the lead comes. Nice lead by Schooler. Couldn't take it down. Pedler will go for the boundary. No, he won't. Keep it in front of him. And we might get another stoppage right here. We do. So we did get up and down the ground again. We went back to that 50-metre mark.
I tell you what did go down was Joey Pedler's shorts. Just about lost them. Had a bit what they call plumbers, you know what, there. For a second, there we go. Good thing you got the bike shorts.
Got the leggings there.
Get a look at the old builder's cleavage there, boys.
Tilts it about, Mark. Francis can't get it away. Jarrett will kick long with that penetrating left boot, and Off the Hide had to go. Got a good block from Sibanala. Just paved the way for Off the Hide to take the mark. As Robert Pyman said a moment ago, both sides not preparing to give an inch. It hasn't broken open yet. 9.5 minutes gone. Just the one goal kick so far. That was to the Eagles' Powell. Thomas kicks to a real loaded up forward line. He kicks it long at the back. Was McKay, but it fell in front. And Obst hit the mark in the white boots. And he'll go back and look at a shot from around 25.
Well, he's an athletic specimen, Alan Obst, 18 years of age, 194 centimetres. They've got his weight in the budget as 79 kilos. It wouldn't surprise me if he's closer to 85. He looks like he's filled out over the last couple of weeks or months. Probably working hard in the weights room.
Looks pretty good up forward too.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough of him in terms of his kicking. Perhaps you could help me out here, Michael.
You're about to get a lesson. Here it comes. Obst from around 30. And I think some work at the end of training during the course of the week, Rob. Would that be on the menu for
I think I think that might be on the cards. Perhaps we'll need to give him the benefit of the doubt and have another look if he gets another shot in front of goal.
Boys, Paul Lindsay coming out for a break here. The young, I don't know if he's Dutchman, I'm going to call him the young Dutchman, James Vanderloo going for his first run in league football.
Eagles chip their way forward. Treby almost dropped that ball outside the line of his body and outside the line. It's on centre wing. McKenzie rather, it was Vanderloo went flying, but no contact on the player.
I've seen Vanderloo play a little bit. I saw a bit of him play against North Adelaide in the reserves, and certainly looked pretty exciting from what I saw then.
Another stoppage. Central's work it nicely. Westhoff, has he got a right foot? Yes, he has. Well, sort of. Down to half forward, he gets it. Slade got rid of his man. And that man, Powell, turned around to the umpire and said perhaps it was illegal, sir. Slade pops it up, wanting a big mark. Ball to the front. Obst, good rove. They get it back to McCabe. Around the corner, McCabe misses everything. Oh dear. They've had their chances, the Doggies, just to force some scoreboard pressure.
The ball has spent most of this quarter inside their forward 50. They just can't get anybody free and clear to be able to dispose of the footy in the correct manner. The Eagles have done pretty well at just congesting it up, making it difficult for them.
Has Roy Laird done very much to change the structure of everything? Rob, or sort of let it go pretty much the way it's been in the first?
Well, it's interesting that they're now changing the ruckman off the bench, which I suppose is a slight change from what they've done in the first half. But there's no doubt that Graham at centre half forward in probably halfway through that second quarter was the move that got him back into the game, and he's still currently playing centre half forward.
It was a good move. Pedler looking for a good move from Grokey. Uses Colville. Out looking for that man who's just come on, Vanderloo. Just got the handball away. Following up was Colville. Vanderloo hovering, jumps in the middle of the pack. Colville, was that a throw? Wigley. Sikalella foxed it out to Grokey. Good tackle by Gowans, Chris. He got his kick away and didn't go very far, but here they go. They discolour they hate that colour of white, don't they? Those two. The old teapot. Alan Border was famous for that. Hands on hips. Schooler knocks it down. O'Sullivan just to his bootlaces. Uses McCabe. Short kick. Spots up where? The outer side wing. Doggies need the next one, you'd think. Just to the head of Graham. Spencer, quick enough to get back. And uses Pedler. Got a free kick for a push in the back. And Joey Pedler could have gone on with it, but decided to stop. Spencer takes his kick, looks into the centre of the ground. Grokey's the target, can't hold on. Here's Jarrett. Eagles go forward. A bounce to Jarrett. A long kick. He's hoping for a pass at over. Set it up. A good leap from Mark Passador.
What an exciting prospect Jared is. Kicked it well to Passador.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of Jared play in the pre-season games, and he's beautiful left foot kick. He's quick. He's got fantastic jump. As you can see there, he can get on the end of the play and distribute the ball to a teammate in a better position. And Mark Passador, once again, we keep saying it's causing enough headaches for Centrals to perhaps make a change sooner rather than later.
I was just about to say his kicking has been magnificent today, Mark Passador. I'm glad I never.
Well, he's kicked, what has he kicked, 4-3 now, so I think that if he had his kicking boot on, he could have sewn the game up right at this point in time.
Ian Mogridge, forward 50 entries in this quarter. I'm just curious if you've got that.
Yeah, it's 7-3 to Centrals. Of course, they had a lot more time with the ball in there, as Robbie said a minute ago.
Yeah, it just seems like that, doesn't it? All Thomas just ran his full measure and got the hand pass just in time. That little 1-2 that he worked at least got it to centre wing. Coming across nicely was Wigley. Wigley chips it into the centre. Well done. Inkster took it, went straight away. Awkward, must have been touched off the boot. Sikalella over the top. Oh, Passador's in prime position. And Passador's off. It'll be a goal. Thomas has hurt himself in that little collision. Mark Passador made sure of the goal.
I don't think he was going to mess around this time. Just run it into the goal line and kick from there. As we can see, when the Eagles go inside their forward 50, they're really looking for Passador now. They know that he's got the edge on his opponent. Standing strong there. Realise that Centrals had perhaps just lost concentration. Thomas went down injured, just ran in, kicked a nice goal.
That's the problem. You cannot hold on to the player.
Yep, there'll be
a lot of that.
There's some discrepancies in that rule, and there's some grey areas because if players from behind, you can't hold him otherwise 25 metres.
Back in the centre, 33-point break to the Eagles. Free kick goes to Centrals. Ware, the beneficiary, spears the kick, looking for Westhoff. Got it on the half volley. Good call by the umpire. Westhoff wants that left boot. A wobbly old ball inside 50. Francis couldn't bend. Taken by Pedler. Pedler uses Inkster. It's looking ominous for the Dogs at the moment as the Eagles go forward. Umpire blows the whistle. Must be a free kick. Will come downfield. Someone was dealt with by Centrals, and it looks like a 50-metre penalty coming out. Didn't see it, boys.
James Gowans. Now, I'm not exactly sure what he did, but obviously Colin Ralston saw it or heard it and decided he didn't like it.
Jared's got it and what a man to have it. Lace out to Passador, and it does not look good at the moment for the Dogs.
No, it doesn't, and we saw that a couple of minutes ago, didn't we? Jared get hold of the footy in the centre of the ground and look for Passador on the lead.
Runner straight out to James Gowans.
As you would be, but Passador's looking at his sixth good-looking kick. It's there. He's almost single-handedly broken this game open, Mark Passador. Outstanding so far up forward, 6 goals.
Well, there's no doubt he's been in great form today. He's had some beautiful delivery. I mean, he's just led into some space there, and he's had it 3 or 4 times delivered lace out. It's a little bit like Sab Rocker, I reckon. He looks more comfortable when he's kicking from further distance.
Sab Rocker, though, is comfortable in the centre square. I don't think Passador quite has that range.
No, not quite.
Mark Passador's taken 8 marks inside 50. The whole Central side's only taken 6.
There's James Gowans. He's fired up for flying the tackle. Jared. And pass over the top. It's on in the centre square. And I'll bet you James Gowans is involved. As we just get a look at that, umpires have blown a whistle. And this time it's pulled out in the direction of the Gowans. And Colin Ralston is in there again, and what a surprise, both Gowans are involved. James Gowans will take the free kick. Inkster was the player who ultimately was the player deemed to have offended there. It's gone out to Slade on centre wing, so the Dogs have gone sideways. Chips it up to Schooler. Schooler will be called to play on, you'd think. He is. Off to Slade again. Just pumps it up inside 50. They haven't had the answers through this method so far. Nicely rode, ball scrambled forward, minor score. And that was Norsworthy, who just got the kick away. So that was a whole change of momentum for the Dogs.
And the Gowns are very good at doing that. They create I suppose, a bit of a scuffle and a bit of a fight, so the rest of the Central players get involved. Sometimes it works in their favour like it did there.
They haven't won many in the last couple of weeks, but they won that one.
They won that scuffle.
Well, Chris Gowans won one during the week. He beat a striking charge, so a couple of wins. What's the breeze like down there, Ben Knights? Doesn't seem to be any change. Flag's pretty limp here at the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, absolutely, Michael. No advantage to either team. I mean, very slight breeze down the right-hand right of screen.
Bit of fire and brimstone coming from Roy Laird, I would say. Be pretty disappointed with this from the Dogs. Free kick going to Chris Gowans, so they've won another little battle, or haven't they? No, it's against him. And didn't deliver it back on the full, so that should be 25.
There's no doubt about that. That's just a flag.
Potter.
Free kick.
Oh, that's a big leap. Can't take the mark. That's that man you were speaking about, young Vanderleur. He's got a good leap on him.
Flying Dutchman.
How's the kick? Pretty good out in front of Oakley. Ball in dispute. Thomas thought he might have been just nabbed before he had possession of the football. Norsworthy on hands and knees. Did pretty well and got it to Ware. Ware, what's he got in front of him? He'll look for Quentin Graham. He's got plenty of pace. Thought about it a couple of times. Then dished off to James Gowans. His short kick spots up Quentin Graham.
Graham turns around and thumps long. Again, they've taken that direct route, and again, it hasn't worked. Inkster this time falling back. The left footer would try and switch it. He can. He's got Treeby running for him. Treeby looks up. Lindsay's in space. He's just walked on the ground from the interchange bench. He doesn't go for him. He goes for Passador. Lindsay gets the big paw up. It goes over the back. Sibinaila will want the boundary line, and Sibinaila manages to get it there in the end.
Lindsay was screaming for that as soon as he came off the bench, but lifted the vision and went over his head.
He'd go for Passador though, wouldn't you?
Well, he's certainly on fire at the moment. No doubt, kick the ball in his area. He's liable to mark and kick as well.
Running around the edge of this pack off the hide, finally gets a hand on it. Game the Eagles from the stoppage. Jarrett almost bursts his way through. He's tackled. They try and get it out the back. Slade with the tough work for the central side, just taking his player to ground.
Lee Westhoff, who is a Monty for the lookalike of Richie Cochran Award today, he's come off the ground. He's been replaced by Buckets McKenzie, straight to full forward. Roy Laird looking for a spark up front.
Ball in tight again. And again, we'll get another stoppage. Or another stop play, if you like. 38 points to margin. Time on. Third quarter. Anzac Day at the Adelaide Oval. ABC TV football. Jarrett came over the back. Followed up brilliantly. Good vision, released Earl. Earl can kick it to the hot spot. He goes off the left. From behind comes Ware and knocks it through for the minor score.
What you like to see from your wingers in Ware, push hard back into defence and just cause the contest enough to get the ball through for a point.
39 points the difference in favour of the Eagles. Centrals did trail by 34. The second term had got it back to 8. They'll need to do some overtime work to get it back again. Powell. Jackman did some good work back there. McKenzie for the Eagles. Body work by Passador on Officer. Surely a free kick. No free kick. Wilson. Pretty calm. This is where they've broken down in this next link in the chain. Obst. Ducks it back inboard. Finds Chris Gowans. Through the traffic. Outside of his boot. Francis. Well done, Colville. Just stood his ground. The kick hugs the line, and Earl can't quite hold on with his fingertips, but he got a free kick. They're in the back. I don't know whether that was there.
Well, Sculler had to make a contest, didn't he? So that's what he's done. The umpire seen there's an infringement. It was a pretty lucky free kick.
Powell. Lindsay just flings his man Schooler out of the way, and Schooler will get a free kick at half back for the Doggies.
Again, reasonably obvious that free kick as Schooler takes his time. 23 minutes, third term. I think the Doggies would want to speed it up just slightly. Drops it into McCabe. Off and running, nobody coming to him. Finally, here comes Lindsay. The big pressure from the big man, and he's forced a turnover. Powell stands up, takes the mark, and now they're running off half back through McKenzie. McKenzie drops it in short to Passador. I don't think he's dropped anything this afternoon that's got anywhere near those hands. Pass it all, looks up, props it high. Jared and McCabe, and Jared had the better of it. Free kick or mark, take your pick. Looking inside 50, crowded by some tired dogs, I reckon.
Almost back him from here.
Well, he's going to have a look at it.
There's a thumping kick.
That's interesting. He put the ball down, so the umpire blew time off, and 2 seconds later blew time on. So Jared now, who you'd think would have used up his, what is it, allotted, 30 seconds? See how your pick is, Rob, at his distance. He'll get it all the way to the square, and a big thump coming in over the line, and there was a huge leap there at the back. Didn't quite catch what it was. Even Treby, but he didn't get anywhere near the ball in the end.
Luke Jarrett's had 9 possessions this quarter, 17 for the game.
Been good for him. Ware's been good for Centrals. Getting back is Colville. That is experience, judgment. Call it what you like. He's a star, Gavin Colville, and has been for some time. Off the wing. Forward. Young man. Vanderleur. Didn't take it. In front. Working to the line. Takes Thomas there. He looks the part, Vanderleur, that's for sure, Rob. He's got a future, the young fella. Just the way he moves, he looks pretty slick.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He's quick, he's agile, he's got a very big leap on him, and we saw that a couple of weeks ago when he played in the reserves game. He looks like a player of the future.
Schooler backhands it down. Chris Gowans, that's good work out to McCabe, who sets Francis a task. Earl running with a flight. Potter just spots up Jared. He's got the running Powell, moving and cruising past, kicks it long. Now a big leap at the back. Oakley did the right thing, knocked it down, couldn't mark. Officer just clears the area, but it's only as far as Sikalala. Sikalala got around Thomas well. Got a couple of dummies in there. Treby loads up from outside 50. Will it be shepherded through? I think it got home. It didn't. It was touched on the line. What a good kick from Lee Treby as the Eagles continue to pump it forward.
Great shepherd there from Oakley. I think McCabe just got in around the back and got his fingertip to the ball before it went over the line.
Gee, the blows are raining in on the reigning champs, Centrals. They're just coming thick and fast, and they're just on their feet at the moment. Lindsay, 70 from goal, quickly looks up. Earl's got a bit of space. Looks around. He can call the play on in a minute. Wouldn't you know, when he turns around, I see there's Jackman. Pumps it long. Officer takes it away for Centrals. Oh, and they go for the boundary. Is that deliberate? Wait on the umpire. He said no. Throw it in.
Neil, Gavin Colville putting his hand up here. He's blowing very hard, and he's taken so many heavy knocks. He's just such a great player. Puts himself in a spot where he's going to get crunched, the right spot, which sometimes is the wrong spot for him. So I think he's going to come off and have a quick spell.
Gotta love that. The right spot is the wrong spot. So here they are working it in tight Centrals. James Gowans drops it to Ware. Got a bit of space, room to move if he can gather it. He does. He puts on the afterburners. Takes off for 10 metres. Nice pass to Francis. Francis has got Graham over the top. Now Graham's in space. Can look to Obst at half forward on the lead. He goes longer than that. High to McKenzie. McKenzie tries to hold position. Ball gets over the back. Here's Powell. Overran it. Dangerous. Pedlar just came through. Almost threw it out. Powell wants the boundary, you think. Taken to ground. Pulls it in, or does he? Wait on the umpire. No, he says, I'll have it. In front of the Bretman stand. And boys still fighting on. 41 points the margin. The Eagles seemingly have this one in their keeping, close to three-quarter time. Get another stoppage.
Certainly a few tight plays out there at the moment. I reckon that as it nears the end of the quarter, that all players are looking for a breather.
Lindsay, snagged by Chris Gowans. Slade taken to the line by the big man Lindsay. The tough ask for Slade to keep his fit there. There's Gavin Colville. He's very proppy down there, boys. He hasn't had any treatment on that at the moment. Ben Knight says he just seems to be might have a bit of a corky in the knee there or something.
You know, that's right, Michael. He's just taken knock after knock. He's, always holding onto the footy, getting put down very hard. And I guess it's a tactic of Centrals to try and put him down. And and hurt him. And at the moment, just having a spell and giving that leg a break.
Central's working hard. Slade along with McCabe. McCabe's normally good, just wriggles away. Now Francis has got to finish, and he does. First goal of the quarter to the Dogs, and it comes right on the 29-minute mark of this third term.
We could put that goal down to a couple of experienced players. Firstly, Gowans put his head over the footy, and then McCabe put his head over the footy, or put his head in the hole, as they sometimes call it, and drag the footy out. Distributed a nice little handball to a player who was running past and didn't let him down.
35 points the margin, still a big mountain to climb. James Gowans taking his turn on the bench.
Guys, get it out.
McCabe reached out, was beaten by Sikalala. He's got his hand. Could have been called holding the ball, I would have thought. As Sullivan chips it up, and well done by Wigley, got rid of Francis, and then took the mark, gave it off to McKenzie, driving long. And three-quarter time, as Sikalala marks that ball. Let's have a look at that score. At three-quarter time, the Eagles well in control. 13-12-90, plays 8-7-55. Quick look through the goals, and they look like this. Quarter by quarter, in fact, we're going to see first, and the margins were 16-22, and now at three-quarter time, 35 points in favour of the Eagles. Quickly through those goal kickers, McKenzie and Graham and Ware with 2 each, and then Passador has been a power-up forward for the Eagles with 6.
As you can see there, the centre breaks are still very much in favour of the Eagles, 12-3. There's been some great work done by Rucks and Rovers in there, pretty much playing inside their opponents, inside 50s. Eagles 44, still in favour there of them. Central Districts 31.
It was a much slower quarter, that one, Robbie, and the Eagles, well, it's one of the modern terms, isn't it? They were playing tempo footy.
There's no doubt about that, and I reckon the Eagles are pretty happy with the state of play at the moment. They wouldn't be too bothered if Central's want to continue to have stoppage after stoppage. I don't know if they're initially or so much instigating that. I think it's pretty much just been a titanic tussle from both teams.
Well, you mentioned the two camps, Sodas and Knightsy, at ground level. What would you be doing if you were coaching?
Well, Neil, I'm not sure if it's what I would do, but I reckon Roy Laird might just open up his forward line this term. He's going to have McKenzie deep, also O'Sullivan and McCabe just to crumb at the front there. Now, Elijah Ware back with that knee. This is his second game since the knee reconstruction. It is causing him a lot of problems. The physios and doctors have paid a fair bit of attention to that, Benny.
Yeah, and for the Eagles, I guess they've just got to keep doing what they're doing. They've got to rotate their on balls. We saw Colville and Sikalella, those guys who are a bit sore at the moment. So keep rotating them through, keep working the way they're going, open up their forward line as well, and leave Mark Passador, who's been so dominant today, to really pull a few strings in this last quarter.
Thanks for that, boys. We're just about set for a start to the final quarter. Eagles by 35 points at the moment. Here's Michael Maney.
Well, the Bulldogs have been able to fight back on many occasions in this game, but this is the biggest task for them. Have they got the legs to go with the Eagles in this last term? All will be revealed. Back in the centre, Schooler and Lindsay. Taken out of the centre by Shattuck. He's kicked forward, just falls into the arms of Inkster. First goal for the Eagles would be tough for the Dogs to get back. Passador maybe, no, off the ground. And he kicks another behind. He's got 6 goals for Mark Passador.
He's had a day out, hasn't he? I think in his form and the type of form he's been in probably since the start of the game, that one may well have just trickled through. You need a little bit of luck in this day and age, and didn't quite get it that time.
Takes off from the last line of defence, allowed to bounce twice. In a hand pass, put Schooler under pressure. The big man gathered it well, gave it to Chris Gowans. Down towards Graham. The ball knocked away from him. Now it's in dispute. Trevi gave the hand pass to Oakley, I think it was, under there. He was quickly smothered by O'Sullivan. So we get a ball up on centre wing.
As Soda said, Central certainly playing an open forward line. We've still got the tools down there, swapping the ruckman in McKenzie and Schooler.
The ball going forward and finding a bit of space out of nothing was Oakley. Now he looks up and takes his time. Passador comes on the lead, ignores that. Westbrook's in the gold square. Oakley decides he'll take his time. You'd think the umpire would give him a hurry up. I thought that's what the rule was, actually, but anyway.
He's getting the DK Lilly run up here. He keeps going back further and further.
It's not a stray at the Adelaide Oval, you'd think, although you have to stretch the memory to DK Lilly. Oakley drops it to the top of the square and coming in strongly marking.
He's kicked it like DK Lilly.
Off the high, gives it to Chris Gowans. Possession number 2 for the quarter. Ware slowly finding his feet in league football again after 12 months out with the recon.
There's no doubt that coming back after a knee reconstruction, he's going to need half a season to really get his confidence back.
Shattuck, she was good in the first half, Shattuck. Went out of it a little bit in the third quarter, I thought, but
he sat on the bench now for about 15 minutes that third quarter. So
that's probably how far he was out of it. Thank you very much. Wilson from behind knocked the ball away. Again, he's a player. Somebody told me that he was sitting on the bench because Wilson, again, he's a player that sort of went out of it in that third quarter.
Had a ripper second quarter, but obviously in the third quarter, I think he might have been...
Yep, you're right, Robbie. Just had one handball in the third quarter.
Then right onto that one. Loose ball, O'Sullivan. 16 possessions to him so far in the game. Uses Thomas. Thomas's handball's poor to Wilson, who Treby's got him. He ducks his head. Brute strength got him out of it. To Thomas. I think the lights are on at the Adelaide Oval. Boys, check that. The ball's very shiny out there.
Spot on, Michael. Lights have just come on.
Schooler kicks it long. They need a mark and they need a goal, but they won't get one here. This has been marked by Spencer. Got some good second-tier players, the Eagles, who are very serviceable for them. This bloke's not second-tier. Shattuck, who uses Jarrett, who hooks it in. He's got pace and skill. He just runs away from O'Sullivan, who's not mean on the foot running. Taken by Graham. Just uses off the height, so the Dogs try and rebuild it again. O'Sullivan, another possession to him. Just inshore, Brooks. Mackenzie just swung in the tackle. Tried to get to Sikalella. Well done, Spencer. Wigley, oh, buckets. Mackenzie's got him. The turnover comes. Thomas to Ware. Dogs need a goal. They need it quickly. Ware's kick. Gowans can't take it. Well done, Potter. James Gowans tracks it to the line. Francis kicked his first goal in league footy in the third term. Can't get enough of it. Ball in the pocket, and there'll be a bounce.
The tackling and pressure from the Eagles has been absolutely sensational today. You can see there that Central's had the run of the ball. It looked like they were going to create something out of nothing, but the tackling and pressure from 3 or 4 of the defenders down there certainly pleased the coach.
Well done, Mackenzie. Colville back on. The sucker for punishment, Gavin Colville. Might have been safe enough to have a bit longer off, but he's back out there. A real Anzac warrior, Gavin Colville.
And kick for touch too.
Superb.
Well, there's quite a few players out there wishing there was more oxygen in the air. They are really struggling. Mackenzie, you heard the groan. Ah, he said as Lindsay pushed him. So Mackenzie will take the free kick. I would have thought him capable of kicking this sort of distance. Takes his time and just wonks it in short. And Mackenzie, his namesake for the Eagles, just takes the intercepting mark, drops it off to Sikalella. Great experience, Sikalella, 2-time best and fairest at the Eagles.
Stay there, Noodles.
To Pedler called a play on. Here comes one of his favourite guys to close him down, and James Gowans. Now they've got a ball up, and Thomas didn't like some attention there, and the Magarey medalist sort of half threw one. The umpire threw the ball in the air. That stopped it. Thomas, toe poke forward. O'Sullivan in space. Treby tries to close him down. O'Sullivan goes back. Fumble by McCabe. Treby did well. Off to Powell. Now Sikalella danced around a bit, then gave it back to Wigley. Off the left foot was good. Passador hasn't dropped anything all day. However, he's in trouble now and called for holding the ball centre wing. And it's on behind play, and one of the umpires has spotted something involving Westhoff and Treby.
Neil, Chet O'Sullivan and Treby there were just having a little tussle for a moment or so, and just as they were walking off, Treby clipped him over the ear, then it started again. So they did throw a bit of a flurry there, and the umpire just coming and picking it off and giving it to Chet O'Sullivan.
That's Sodas. And it'll go back to O'Sullivan eventually, and now 25 metres, and that would put him, I would have thought, on the edge of his distance.
The umpire just explaining to Treby why that was paid.
Well, he goes off to Gowans. He'll have to go to his left leg. Chris Gowans. Oh, doesn't matter. Either side, the Gowans boys. Badly needed goal for the Dogs. They're hanging in there.
Well, there's one thing about Central Districts, it's been part of the culture of their club for a long period of time, is that they will grind out a game regardless. And I thought that the scores didn't reflect that last week when they played Glenelg. So they'll certainly have been reminded that during the week, that no matter what the score reflects, that they have got a duty to their club to actually grind out the game. And you can see that prevailing as we speak.
First goal to Chris Gowans of the afternoon. 30 points the difference. Another 5 goals, quick ones from the Dogs. That's what they need. That's the task. O'Sullivan, James Gowans, Wilson. They're on a bit of a roll here at the moment, and Wilson has had a couple of bounces. He'll punch it long, hoping for a mark. Pedler got back with a good fist away. That Eagles defence has been resolute this afternoon, and Joey Pedler, one of the meanest defenders in the comp.
Just get the feeling that if Centrals can kick 1 or 2 quick ones, it'll be game on again. But by the same token, if the Eagles are going to kick a goal, I reckon they'll ice the game pretty quickly.
Ryan Potter on the boundary. You go to Ben in a minute. Shattuck working overtime. Wants Powell. Got him. Inkster's on down the line. He's going to have to sit and wait, and he does. Good mark, Tim Inkster. Or has it gone out of bounds on the full? Just drifted and floated out. I thought he took, for all money, I thought he took that mark inside. It was line ball.
Looked like a mark from down here, boys.
Thanks, Ben. Officer goes. Oh, just about a spectacular mark. Taken by James Gowans. Can't get enough screw on at the left boot. It's a behind. 29 points the difference in favour of Woodville West Torrens, who have led for most of this game.
Central's just got a bit of momentum at the moment. They're finding a bit of the ball in the midfield and being able to utilise it by scoring. Unfortunately, it hasn't been goals, but as we said before, it'd be interesting to see if they can kick 1 or 2 quick ones, if it sends a shudder up Ronnie Fuller and the Eagles' spine.
Well, that won't help him, giving away 25 metres there. There's Ronnie Fuller and his team. Shane Reardon to his left. Ball down to half forward. Bad delivery from Spencer. Finds Westhoff. And now the moving scrum of players through the centre of the ground starts to head towards the central end of the ground. Spencer in the middle of the pack. Brooks took it. Umpire said, no, you didn't. Play on into Norsworthy. Under pressure from Colville. Thomas, Sibonela turns around, pumps it long. O'Sullivan got Potter away from the ball. Got a goal. Doggies, here they come. Or do they? Well, they're certainly in the hunt, aren't they?
No doubt about that, and this is what we've been looking for, the Centrals to kick 1 or 2 and see if it actually makes a difference. You can see there, they're just banging the ball long to the hot spot, and this time, instead of going to a tall, it's usually been Mackenzie or Sikalella, it's probably the smallest bloke on the field, and he took that, just edged out his opponent, just made a little nudge in the back there, but all within fair play, and finished with a nice goal.
22 possessions for Chet O'Sullivan today. Only Elijah Ware's had more for the Dogs with 24.
Been handy for them, O'Sullivan. Good ruck work by Schooler to Thomas. Dogs go forward again. Noodles has got it. Elijah Ware. Couple of kicks out from goal. Mackenzie gives him a lead. Gowans gives him 1-2. In goes Wilson. Was directed to him. Colville, is he over the ball? Wilson's handball out the top. Taken by McCabe. Free kick. And it'll go to the Doggies. Is it against the Eagles for what?
Good question. Yeah.
Blindsided by the umpire then,
I guess it must have been in the back, yeah. Wilson was diving to hand pass it out.
A bit like my Quentin Graham one.
Didn't see him play on.
Wilson, who's been the spark.
Left footer too, so it should suit him, this pocket.
Son of a gun. Can he get it? I tell you what, if there was a roof on this place, they'd bring it down. Wilson told to play on as he crept around. He's drilled a goal. It's back to 17 points.
Well, it's been a direct result of the centre bounce clearances. We've seen the stats at half-time and three-quarter time, but they're in favour of the centre bounce clearances of the Eagles. But we're just having a look here at this free kick. Yeah, there it is there, just in the back. The umpire's called that, and Wilson has finished with a beautiful goal. But once again, it comes back to the centre bounce clearance. This one here, this centre bounce is crucial for both sides.
We have to go all the way back to the 25th minute of the opening quarter since I was that close, really. Actually, 27-minute mark of the second quarter since they were as close as this, the Dogs. And there's a little bit of faith in them now. They've got a free kick out of the middle. Quentin Graham runs to the right of Schooler and takes possession. Drops it into half forward, hoping for a march. Spencer was brave. Gave it out the back. No attempt to clear the ball, the Eagles. Jared, we know he hasn't got much of a right side. Pedler was brave too. Redden gave it wide to Spencer off the left foot, got it to centre wing. Graham was good. Nicely done. The Dogs will load up again through James Gowans. Belts it in long. McKenzie comes from behind. Knocks it away. O'Sullivan on the ground. Umpire called in the back. He called play on advantage. Wilson got it forward to Brooks. Brooks around the corner's got another one. Margin 11 points.
Well, we said it only a couple of minutes ago that the centre bounce was crucial, and Lindsay gave away a free kick which resulted in the ball spilling forward. Series of free kicks or passages of play resulted in Brooks getting hold of the footy. It's a clever little play by Wilson just to dribble the ball along the ground. I don't know if he was looking for Brooks or if he was actually trying to have a shot on goal. Probably having a shot on goal, but Brooks did the rest of the work, and you can see or hear the chant go up, and you can see the Doggy supporters on the out are pretty impressed with things at the moment.
Both Francis and Brooks have never kicked a league goal in their career. They both got one each. Back to 11 points, and the Dogs are on the march. Lindsay ducked the head, couldn't get through. They're swarming at the moment, the Doggies. When they get the sniff, they're pretty tough to stop.
Michael, just a reminder for the bench on Central Districts. They've only got one fit player. Alan Opster is the only one able to come back on. The skipper Steinburner's shoulder is a little sore, and also Dutchke's back.
Big momentum change, was it? You feel that down there, Mark?
Yeah, certainly, Michael. They're pretty pumped up here, and they've really 4 goals this term has set them on fire.
Slade. This is Francis. Looks for O'Sullivan. Thumped away. Good work by the Eagles in Jackman. Pass it off. All of a sudden, the Eagles are hurried. The Dogs are swarming. The kick forward by Westhoff to Gowans. No free kick. As it goes to the line, Redden did pretty well to see it out for a boundary throw-in. This game has gone up about 4 notches since about the 7 or 8 minute mark of the term.
And Michael, Travis Oakley's come off from full forward. He's gone onto the bench, and down there to maybe make a name for himself as a young man, Vanderloo, in his first game.
Oh, he could be the difference, the young bloke, in his first game. Redden can't get it through. Spencer, front on tackle by Westhoff. Umpire's thrown the whistle away for a moment. Big swarm of players. No one can get it clear. Redden got it out the back somehow. Sikalala. Umpire paid a free kick. Which way is it going? It's going to come back to the Eagles. It'll go to Shattuck for being held onto.
Go down, Gary. Go down. Go down, Gary. Was the Eagles' first free this quarter? The Dogs had 6.
Pretty obvious free kick, that one, wasn't it?
The Dogs are on the prowl, there's no doubt about that. Earl takes the shorts pass. They'll try and slow it down, you'd think, the Eagles. Heavily under pressure at the moment. Grayson Earl goes down the line. Lindsay at the back, Schooler at the front, out-pointed him. Lindsay got rid of Schooler and thought, here we go, but he reached back to Central's big man.
All of a sudden, marks are starting to stick that they were dropping earlier in the day.
Officer Inkster will have him for pace, so he propped and stopped, and Inkster forced the turnover. Nicely marked, sliding in there by Vanderloo. Quickly back, drops it in for Passador. Oh, and he's dropped, I reckon, the first time he's got good hands on the ball today that he's dropped the mark. Sibinala works it wide. Ware drops it in short for McKenzie. Pedler got him away from the ball. Pedler's taken down, holding the ball, no, too high. Oh, maybe the arm slipped up, Joey. Pedler gets the benefit. Out the back he goes to Colville. Colville, oh, Westhoff, position A, took the ball. Slade gets around the back. Thomas in space. He goes for Thomas. If he gets this, he can run. No, it just bounces one too many times. Goes inside, pumps it long for Brooks. He's got position on McKenzie. He takes a great mark. Gee, that was a good kick from Thomas, and Brooks had great position and made the most of it.
Yeah, spot on there, Neil. That was a perfect kick, a beautifully weighted kick. Brooks was calling for the ball long and high, and that's exactly where he put it.
From the edge of the goal square, he pops it through. Oh, boy. Sit tight. We're in for a grandstand finish. 5 points the margin. Roy Laird. Not a lot of emotion in that box, but he must be happy with the comeback.
No doubt about that. You can see the mark taken there by Brooks. It was a beautiful mark. He had out-positioned his direct opponent, McKenzie, there. He knew where the ball was going. That's where he signalled for the ball to go, and Thomas was, well, he's a Magarey medalist. He was good enough to actually put it there. Once again, it comes back to the all-important centre bounce here. The Eagles really need to lift him inside in the midfield.
Outmarked a quality opponent, McKenzie too. No mean feat. 5 points, one straight kick, and the Dogs will be in front. Shattuck has different ideas. James Gowans, cop one. That'll be 25 against Lindsay, for sure. Well, it's taken them a while, but I think they've got under the skin of the Eagles. Both the Gowans twins.
Yep, free kick was there.
Still in the centre square. He's going for a torpedo punt. It could come off. Slade couldn't get the handle. Colville under pressure, that Eagles defence now. Powell, short one, gave it up to Colville, who clears the area. Only as far as the 100-gamer, Quinton Graham. How would it be in his 100th that they can come from the death throes to win? They're not there yet. They trail by 5. Graham goes to the pocket. Wilson doing the roving. The unlikely McKenzie takes it to the line. 19 gone.
Michael, I can tell you that these 5 goals kicked by Central to zip in this term has got the 4,698 people in voice and on their feet. It's going to be a super finish.
Mark Soderstrom and Ben Knights on the boundary for ABC Television Football. Kick out of there by Chris Gowans. No miracles there. McCabe, handball, look away. James Gowans. Well done, Mark McKenzie. Calling the crisis, and it is an official crisis for the Eagles. One straight kick in it.
Ball quickly in. Spencer finds room. Advantage of the new law. You can take it straight away. Sibinala out-pointed Westbrook. Goes wide. No, he thought about the hand pass. Now he goes down to Brooks. Brooks did well. Got the ball to ground. James Gowans couldn't toe poke it forward. McKenzie, hand pass over the top. Powell. Powell could go to Sikalella. Sikalella will hold things up, you'd think. He does. Margin to 4 points. Sikalella drops it for Powell. Made good space. Powell just, he almost threw one at O'Sullivan. Content to hold it up. 20-minute mark of the final quarter. Long way to go yet.
30 possessions for Luke Powell today.
Well, he was best on ground in this match last year, rewarded with a Bob Quinn medal and 3 votes in the Magarey. Lindsay! Oh dear, juggling effort, pulls it in. And that's just quiet in the Dogs' fans just for a moment. Big Lindsay. As Gowans and Officer go at Inkster, and perhaps Shattuck. In fact, almost certainly Shattuck. And Sullivan coming off the ground. Lindsay's hand pass to Sikalella, who from the most acute of angles gets it to the goal square. Wait on the goal umpire. Touched through for a minor score. 5 points the margin.
Neil, you just mentioned Chad O'Sullivan off the ground. He was playing deep up forward as a small. Alan Ops, the bigger player, has gone on just to stretch the Eagles.
A bit tense there, Ron Fuller. Officer's kick needs to be good to Norsworthy, who was calm from half-back. Kicks to the wing. Wilson in front. Ball rode by Jarrod, just took it off him, pickpocketed him. Taken by Shattuck. Shattuck's kick. They're lining up at half-forward, just too far for Earl. It trickles out of bounds. The once precise Eagles are now missing targets. There's a bit of pressure on.
Yeah, there's no doubt the intensity's picked up. The players know there wouldn't be a hell of a lot of time left, so they're starting to just tense up a little bit on their disposal.
Lindsay and Schooler. Thought Schooler got that down. Powell. A lot of players around the ball. McKenzie for the Eagles. Kicks it high off to Hayden. Passador. Who can do the roving? Inkster. Can he hook it round the body? A steadier from the will-o'-the-wisp. Tim Inkster. They're out by 11.
Well, that was just a brilliant individual performance here by Inkster. He had 3 or 4 players to beat, break the tackle, and then snap truly over his right-hand shoulder. Worked his way to his left foot. We all know he's got a damaging left foot. He's pretty happy about that.
Another big target going forward for the Eagles, boys. Travis Oakley back on the ground. Dave Westbrook having a break. So Travis Oakley going straight to centre half forward.
11 points to the margin. What have they got left now, the Dogs? Got within 4 at the 19-minute mark. McKenzie out of the middle. Sikalella trapped it well at half forward. Inkster taken down, umpire set in the back. Tim Pfeiffer, the umpire there. Now, it's one of those. McKenzie's gone forward. Inkster finds him. And that'll be 25 as well. Well, McKenzie was touched after he'd taken the mark. And the umpire said, you're not allowed to do that. And how bad does a young man, Francis, feel?
Well, that rule needs to be picked up and thrown out the window. That's it. They need to do something about that. That's ridiculous.
I suppose at this time of the game, with this closer contest, any free kick gets magnified, and when it's a ticky-touch one like that, obviously the fans get a little irate.
Mark McKenzie slots it home, and you think the Eagles are home.
Well, it'd be interesting to see this free kick. You can see there McKenzie's pushed from defence down the ground, taking the mark. The rule stipulates you're not allowed to grab an opponent, and I know exactly, you're shaking your head, Michael. I know what you mean. It's pretty frustrating from everyone's point of view that the umpire is only doing what he's told. But
that's right.
You're right. You need to have a feel for the game or throw the rule out.
Exactly. Not knocking the umpires at all. It's what they have to work with, and that's the rule. 17 points the difference. What a comeback by, first of all, the Doggies, and then the Eagles to steady it out to 17 points. They lost Simmons, Roberts, Biaggi, and Vince before the game. Here's McCabe. No, free kick. Advantage will pay. Westhoff. Might be a long quarter. Westhoff kicks. Brooks, can he work a miracle? Pedlar, his sole intention was the line, and it trickles over.
Michael, just to get back to that rule, perhaps the rule should be that if he impedes the player from playing on, there's no doubt in that situation that Mark McKenzie wasn't going to move the ball quickly, so probably no restriction.
It's the cup that they're playing for this afternoon, the Battle Cup on Anzac Day, as James Gowans just gets the ball forward and he goals, not behind.
Sorry, Neil, they're still not sure which ribbons to take off. They've got double ribbons of the Eagles and double ribbons of Centrals on both sides, so it's getting a bit close, and they're still not sure which ribbons to take off.
Ball in, taken by Grokey at half-back. Might be still a bit left in this game yet. A couple of quick goals by the Dogs. Another goal you think would well and truly seal it for this Eagles outfit. Thumped away by Sibanala and further thumped to the line by the Eagles. Boundary throw in, ticked into 26.5. There's O'Sullivan doing some stretching on the boundary lines, worked his backside off today for the Dogs.
The Eagles won't be unhappy if they just have stoppage after stoppage from here on in. Try to congest the game.
Well, they've worked themselves into a situation, and that master stroke of McKenzie going onto the ball has been a good one by the coaching staff of the Eagles. Ball will trickle out. McKenzie has been so good down back. Fuller just throws him onto the ball. He drifts forward. He kicks a goal. He gets some important takeaways and clearances. How handy would it be to have a guy like that can do that and just turn his hand to anything?
Well, he's a quality player. He can play key post down back or in the midfield.
He's had seven marks and 22 possessions today.
Eagles a chance to go further ahead. This is Jackman. High kick. No one can take the mark. Ball in dispute. Francis will get a free kick for too high. No. Umpire said play on. Norsworthy working hard at the back's got to use Graham. Graham will use McCabe. Doggies can build up. Man in the middle is Westhoff. I don't think he saw him, or he couldn't get back on the mark quick enough, McCabe. And McCabe clears the area for the Dogs.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh, that was very sloppy, but Ware was able to get it. Drops it in short. Slade sliding in. They need to run, and they need to run in a hurry. Graham. He'll get it down to half forward with that kick. Went for Wilson. Brave coming across the front and getting a reward from his teammates. Now he's turned around. Thank you very much, Spencer. Young Spencer getting across there and knocking it out of bounds.
One of his nicknames, Frank.
He's been quite good, Frank, hasn't he?
To be frank.
So Lindsay opposed to McKenzie. Neither of them got into it. Here's O'Sullivan. He's worked hard in this last quarter, O'Sullivan. Shattuck. Nicely done. Spencer gave it back to Redden. Down to centre wing. Passador got rid of two. Went to take off, gave it to Sikalala. Sikalala can go long. Just waits a kick instead. And that's experience. He just waited. He took the bounce. He drew in a player, and he found Inkster, who now has the choice of going short or taking his time. He goes short. Out comes Oakley on the lead, and game over as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And Sikalala, as you called it, Neil, just using all of his experience there. Didn't rush it. Just held up, took an extra bounce, and just found the spare player in Inkster. And once again, Inkster used his experience to find Oakley.
That's pretty good, Oakley. 16 points to the margin. And Oakley kicking for his second of the afternoon. Game over. Eagles will go to a record of 2 wins and 2 losses through 4 rounds of the SANFL season.
Yeah, here it is here. Sikalala is going to kick. Side the bounce, destroyed the player. Central player which released Inkster. A fair bit of space in that forward line. Oakley had some important touches early in the game. Drifted out of the game perhaps late in that second quarter and the third quarter, but this quarter has had some time on the ground, some time on the bench, and as you want from all 4 forwards, lead up the corridor and get on the end of it.
Well, Centrals have won the last 3 against the Eagles with an average of 21 points, and it looks like the Eagles will win this by 20 plus. Or will they? Taken by Thomas. Chopped off by Jarrod. There's been quality for them. Earls made some space on the wing. The kick just carries him too far. It won't matter. Mopping up will be Shattuck. He'll get a shepherd from Earl. That's good play. Mackenzie's lurking. He goes to Earl. The 1-2 was back on. Shattuck will get it. Just outside, attacking 50. Can Oakley take another mark? Lindsay at the back. One for the Crummers. Here's Inkster. He loves them. He loves them from there, Tim Inkster. And the umpire just waits. It's a behind. Thought about it. Thought that maybe he was dealt with after he kicked it. He kicked the goal a while ago, but gee, I thought he would have nailed that one, Rob.
He would have iced the game. He would have been the hero of the day, kicking the first one and then this one.
Aaron Shattuck, despite spending half the third quarter on the bench, had 30 possessions, 11 this quarter.
Late in this game, unfortunately, we're running out of time. The margin 23 points. The Eagles clearly have this match won. It's been an awesome afternoon. They led by 16 at quarter time, 22 at the half, 35 at three-quarter time, and they withstood a furious comeback from Central District. Don't forget to join us on Saturday. We're going to be at Noarlunga.